Hey everyone, this is Second Sight Tarot, a branch of wellness. I'm here to do the monthly reading for Libra for the month of April 2021. I've already meditated on the cards, and please remember that this is a general reading, so it may not resonate with everyone. So please take what does and then leave the rest. So I'm still doing the elements position. The elements spread. Its current situation, how you can move through this with intellect and communication, the emotions that you can connect with this, and how you can move through this to the outcome. Again, I do use a lot of oracle cards and tarot mix. I like to use a lot of different cards. I will smoothly transition into a smooth talk as we unravel this reading. It's hard to get my words out today. Ooh, two of them, okay. So I have a couple of cards that I'm going to share with you that fell out while I was shuffling that I want to share. So just bear with me to get this reading ready. Emotions. Thank you. Okay. Thank you. At the bottom of the deck is acceptance. It's funny because when I was meditating on your cards, and I do a little meditation before I start just to ground myself, you do have a lot of pondering and contemplation and acceptance and healing at this time. So there's something going on. Maybe it's a connection with people, just reconnecting, maybe difficult for some. I don't know if this is why this is coming up, but maybe that has something to do with just because we've been isolated for so long. It's hard to deal with people's energies right now for some, but also maybe there's some kind of healing going on with relationships right now. And I'll talk to you about that when I pull out the other cards that already came out in the reading. So there's something to this. I'm not sure, but we're going to get into it as we go through. I'm just going to pull a couple more and then start the reading. Coming out fast this month. That came out as I was shuffling. Wow. Okay. Wow. This is how it's been going all month with everybody's reading. Super fast and jumpy. I think everybody's ready to just make a shift and do some healing. Do something different. Almost jumping. Okay, I'm going to move these out of the way here. Move this up. There we go. A little bit more structured here. So at the bottom of the deck, it's the Eight of Acorns, which are the Eight of Wands. And this is all about moving through something and creating new energy right now. And that's exactly what I was feeling coming forward with the cards that fell and with the meditation. It's about having results and like really seeing the results of your actions right now and the energy that you're putting into things. So I think that's really a really great energy to be in for the month of April. Maybe shifting some stagnation or some stuff that you've wanted to move for a while. We'll get into it. I'm going to pull a couple more and then we're on our way. Came out in your shuffle too, finance card. You're definitely gaining experience and growing right now in a time, especially with communication and intellect. There's just a lot of movement, a lot of healing going on. Maybe for some, a yearning or like some kind of need to feel safe, or you're starting to feel safe within your own being, like feeling safe to speak your mind and feeling safe to like really do things that are for you and not for someone else. I don't know. I just think that that's pretty much the reading. There's a lot of growth in that and acceptance in that. and having tolerance, you know, like really being tolerant with people's behaviors and with yourself, you know, being patient, and really staying calm and grounded within the challenges that you've been having lately, which I think is a really cool shift for you. And yeah, this whole reading is really about yourself. I mean, for some of you, it could be relationships that you're dealing with, or a current, like a situation, specific situation. But this reading is very much, for me, about self-development, self-growth. And this, the employment card came for some of you. It might be in work. You might be having some obstacles or like blockages, or maybe you're really wanting to change your career or do something different. I don't know, what's coming up for me right here is like you've been a warrior at work, like you've really busted your butt and held your ground, or maybe you didn't before and now you're starting to really like stand up for yourself and be that warrior at work and not taking shit from people anymore, or like finding your worth where you're really not letting anybody. I think you're just done being in that stagnant like space of letting people just tell you what to do. You're just kind of being like, there's a shift there somehow. And I'll clarify. I'm going to actually keep these out so I can clarify that and I don't forget. Because I think that's an important message for some of you. So, all right. So, I'll pull these at the end. But the overall energy of the reading, I already pulled. These fell out while I was shuffling in the White Witch Tarot. These are just the major arcanas. The Magician and the Hanged Man, which are, I think I'm going to do the Hanged Man first, because I feel like for some of you, you've kind of been in this state for a while, you know. Maybe some of you have been distracted and haven't been focused on self-development or really shifting some stuff that really wanted to move. For also the Hanged Man is like critical or creative thinking. So maybe you're like trying to make a move in your career for some of you. That's, I don't, because that card came out, or just in your life, you're trying to plan a new way, a new concept, a new way of thinking. I think for some of you, you're kind of ready to get out of this hourglass. Like you're just done contemplating. You've been enlightened in a certain sense, and now you just want to put it to action. That's kind of what I'm getting here. But there's been a lot of contemplation and like waiting just for the right time for things to shift. And now maybe for some of you, you have this perspective of what you want. You've seen it. You've like been pondering on it, and now you want to move. Like now there's got to be a shift. And I do see there's a lot of energy or an endurance coming in for you. So I think for like, I just see this hand coming out of the hourglass, and I feel like you just want to break free of this hanging upside down for so long. You're just ready. I also, what's coming to me right now for some of you, but not for the majority, I do feel a sense of like impatient or needing to be a little bit more patient and not rush the process. This is not for the majority though. I just feel, it just came up to me like maybe feeling almost claustrophobic in this hourglass, like just wanting to get out before you're ripened. So for some of you, maybe just invite you to take a deep breath, relax, and like meditate and just kind of be in that space for a little longer until you're ready to come out. For the majority, you're ready to bust out and break free and start using this energy that you've accumulated in this time to get moving through this. For the Magician, I just want to see what's popping out here for me. I definitely feel a lot of you have had a lot of insight right now. You know, that you've really discovered the mystery or the hidden things within, and now you're trying to manifest stuff. You know, I'm just getting like you're really concentrating on something. You're ready to manifest something. You're ready to like, you have the willpower and the desire, but also the skills. You've accumulated the skills, and now you're ready to move forward and take this next step in. So I think this is really great energy for the reading. And I definitely feel the Magician is coming to play with all of this. Actually both, because the Hanged Man is like, he's ready to go. and the Magician's ready to manifest. So they work hand in hand for me. I think they're together in that. Also, what came out is the Star and the Ten of Swords. So I just feel like you have a lot of hope right now. I think there's a lot of inspiration, a lot of positive thinking, a lot of like feeling renewed, you know. There's a lot of healing going on for you. And a lot of healing. I mean, that came up a lot in the reading. This could be work related. This could be just home related. This could be just inner work, self work, soul work. But there's just been a lot of healing. And I think that a lot of it might have to do with like ways of thinking about things and how to shift your mind of like, I don't know, keeping you stagnant there. The Ten of Swords came up. I think some of you might be exhausted, you know, just from a lot going on in your life. There's could be, you know, some of you might be coming to a dead end or something might be ending for you. The tens are about completion and about like, or reaching your goal, but this is more of like stagnant energy that needs to move now for me. It's like some of you could have gone through like a deep loss or some kind of shift where, you know, the old way of thinking is now not serving you, so you're moving forward. This could be a breakup. This could be just an old job. But it is a deep loss for the greater good, I feel like. And I think that this is like a time of healing your wounds. You know, this is like this completing, this end, this dead end, I feel like it's a lot of growth for you, a lot of healing right now. So that's kind of what I'm feeling for this. It's not the most comfortable space to be in, but I think that this probably is coming now for some of you, and now you're moving into the more hopeful, the Star, and like having more hope and willpower and all that kind of stuff. So maybe that caused the shift, something that you've been going through a lot of time. Could be a loss of a relationship or just your old way of living and being. So we'll get into it. That was a lot to be in the beginning, but those I thought they were important, and they kind of set the tone for the reading. So in your current situation, you have the Knight of Pentacles or crystals, Change, the Page of Cups. Sorry, it says the Page of Shells, but it's a Page of Cups, and communication in reverse. So I'm going to start with the Knight of Crystals, and this is all about determination and endurance and like really moving through. You're like charging through right now, and this kind of energy is like you want to move. I think people have been enough stagnation where they just want to shift now. They want to start creating things and get out of that hanged man energy. The Knights are all about action, you know, so you really are taking action right now. And I'll show you, it's a camel, but the Knights are all about action. So I think there is a lot of movement right now. You know, you're done feeling this way. You're going through a shift, whether it was like a tower before and now you're coming back from it, or you're going through that spot for a while now, and now you've learned and now you want to move on. And also change. Some of you could be resisting change, and that's not the majority. Change can mean two things. If you see her, she's pushing off an egg, and it could be either her resisting change where she's pushing against the egg, or it could mean her saying like, you know what, I'm going to go with the flow and pushing off of it to be set free from this change and go with the flow. So that could be for some of you. All of this change could be a little bit of resistance. But at the end, I think you are going to be moving through it. It just might be slower for some if you are resisting. And maybe sit with yourself to understand, why are you resisting? What are you so afraid of? Or what is holding you back from really like taking off and using that energy for the greater good? For others, I think you're ready to just soar and just let go and go with the flow. And you're needing something different in the change. So I think that's why you're going with the current more. It's a really beautiful energy, and I think this Knight definitely goes with this action. I think most of you are going to be pushing off because of the Knight is taking action. He's movement, and aces or pages. This is about intuition and inspiration. I love frogs, but pages are all about new ideas, new concepts. Or I'm sorry, that's I don't know why I was thinking of this as the ace, but pages are all about new paths, new concepts. I was thinking, but new paths. So you are definitely taking a direction for the majority. you are starting something new. You've had enough of the old, and you're charging right through to this new path. And I do think there's a lot of movement, and I do think that you're going to be successful in it, because while I was shuffling, the abundance card came out, the ten of cups. I definitely think that there's like a lot of abundance, and then also while I was shuffling these, the crafty card came out. I shuffled them already after this. These are like my clarifiers. And the crafty card came out. And craftiness is all about going through the shift and going through the situation, but having integrity and doing it with integrity and respect and honoring your boundaries and who you are as a person. So I think that maybe this is kind of the shift that you're doing is at a higher vibration than the things that you used to do before for change, like dealing with change. So, and also the moon card came out twice for you during the shuffles with 2 different decks. So there's maybe some unseen or unheard or things that you haven't really focused on, that you haven't seen in the past, that have caused you to, I mean, it could be secrets and stuff. That could be for some of you. There could have been secrets that caused this shift in the tower moment and like all of this stuff to happen. But for the majority, I think maybe now things are coming to the forefront of being seen, and you're seeing them with a different lens. So you're really shifting and moving through something and growing from this stuff, like really doing some deep healing. For some of you, maybe that's what's causing all of this change to begin with. But I do think that because it came out, it's really powerful in the reading. It came out twice so far, and I wouldn't be surprised if it came out again. That I think that there's just I'm just maybe paying attention to that, having a clear, open mind for things that, coming at you full force that you're not comfortable with, and really sitting with that and being comfortable with it. So that's kind of where we are here. And the communication card came out in reverse. And this is 4. 4 is all about stability, and in the current situation, maybe you are finding stability with the way you communicate, or your friends or community, or you're in need of that. So that's what you're seeking out. And that's the change. Maybe for some of you, that is the change, is ways to communicate. Or you're just communicating to yourself and to the universe and to people differently now. And that's causing a really big change in yourself because of all the stagnation and the way we're thinking in the past. So I think you're really working hard to have that. Also, the this is the 4 of Pentacles. So this 4 of Pentacles is stability, but also making sure that you're not grasping too tight to this concept too. Like being a little bit more fluid with your communication and the way you do things. Don't be stuck. This is just coming for a few, not to be stuck on like one way of doing this, and to be fluid and open for possibility of many different perspectives and ways to communicate. I don't know why that's coming up, but that could just be for somebody specific. But I think this is finding stability in the way, and comfort and safety in the way you communicate to the world and the way you present yourself. I think that is a really beautiful thing to do for the month of April. Maybe really coming into your own a little bit here. And how you can deal with this through intellect and communication, you have the Faith card, growth, the 3 of crystals, which are the 3 of Pentacles, and 3 of Pentacles, sorry, I'm still learning these cards, and the finance in reverse. Let me take a sip of water, because I always choke when I'm in the communication position. I'm not lying, it's been 3 or 4 readings that I choke in this area. Lack of communication, maybe. But the Father is a 7 of finance. That's why for some I thought it was job. But this is about gaining experience, gaining knowledge. You either have it already or you're gaining it. It's in the reverse, so maybe not feeling confident that you have the knowledge or you have the experience, or that you have the capability of creating abundance. Maybe that's what it is for some, because it's in the reversal. But for me, what's coming up here, and this is in communication and intellect, so maybe not having the confidence to speak your worth, or maybe you are going to be doing this, and this is like all this change in communication and all that. It's like maybe now you're finally speaking your worth and knowing the value of your time and energy, maybe in work, but also just with people, you know. I'm gonna take another sip because I do feel this coming. Excuse me. But I think it's about like more so than finances. It's about worthy of your time and energy, like where you put that energy. You know, whether it's people like vampire energy vampires or just friends that just ask too much of you, vampires, which is not a bad thing, but you need to focus on you now, I feel like, and you know, really knowing your worth of your time and energy and your value will really set the tone for the month of April and beyond, because you'll just, and it's funny because in the growth card, she has a clock, and she's going, you have grown so much intellectually and in communication and the way you articulate things and the way you perceive things, and you're definitely on your way if you haven't already done this. But I do think that most of you, for the majority, you've been doing some work already in this, and you've grown so much, you know, like you really rooted yourself wherever you are in your life, or what what you're trying to attain. You've really grounded yourself. And I see the clock here, and I do feel it's about like time management, and also for some, you know, being patient with yourself through this healing process, and don't rush the process. You know, for some of you, it's not about time management, but it's about like being patient and going with the flow of healing, but also not getting too comfortable in the position that you are in this healing journey, because that creates stagnant energy. So there's a fine line in like this flow that you need to that needs to be created to keep the momentum going for some that are already ahead of the game. But be patient with yourself in the process. You know, there's like a fine line between using the time wisely, but not letting yourself be too stagnant. And for some, time management of like who takes your time more, and knowing your worth for your time and energy. You know, not giving yourself too much to people where you're not getting nourishment back and healing back. That's very important. That's coming up big for me. The Faith card is all about being grounded into the earth and being connected to yourself, and really embodying the energy of like everything around you. This also kind of ties in for me about your growth position right now, and like time management of like making sure that you get your needs met, and you get the nourishment that you need from people, places, things, environment, you know, just as much as you're giving out. There's got to be a yin and yang. There's got to be a balance. And it has to be equal balance in order for you to be nourished, because I do think you need rest. I just feel like, and I think a card came out that said that. I gotta find it. Maybe it came out before and I put it back in, but there's a need of time of rest right now, because you are going through a big transformation, and this energy that's pushing you forward to really shift and to grow is amazing, but you don't let the fire burn out. I've said this before for a couple of other people, like make sure that's like slow and steady, when the race kind of energy. Don't let the fire burn out before you get to the goal. Even though I don't like to say get to the goal, because it's the journey that's the most important part of growth and experiences, and that's where you learn everything, not the ending result. But to get to that point, you don't want to burn out before you get there. So just really trying to manage that energy and try to balance the energy around. I do see coming to like getting taking a meditation class, or doing things online, meditation, or like binaural beats, or I always say this for a lot of people, but it does come to me when people need to like ground and stay grounded. Doing whatever it takes, Reiki, whatever it takes for you to kind of settle in. Working with crystals, working with some, alternative healing modalities, just to get yourself into that space. And then the Three of Pentacles, or crystals in this, is all about collaboration and productivity. Wait, crystals? Yeah, it's Three of Crystals. I always mix them up, I'm sorry. But it's all about, being productive, but also working together with your tribe or your people at work. So I do for some of you, this is work related. There's a lot of cards that are about work, and finances, and just like, communication. And for some, it's not about work. It's just a matter of like not doing things alone to work through stuff. But I do feel like you'll get more done. And the bee, for me, it's funny, is it on the bottom of this deck? Yeah, the worker bee. I saw it at the bottom of the deck. They're both bees, and bees are all about working as a team to get the job done. You know, they work together as a tribe, as a colony. And it's because it is hard work. They are really hard workers. They don't ever stop. And that could be your energy. But just to know that you can get more done with the help of others, and maybe not exert some of this energy. And maybe that has to do with really seeing where you spend your time and energy and really try to balance that out, you know? Maybe that's really important here. That's what I think. I think that has a lot to do with it. So in the the emotion position, you have the 8 of shells, which are cups. You have peace, you have boundaries, and you have philanthropy. To me, that's all about... I know there's a million things about that card, but I think that's more about... This is the spirit, and I feel like... I don't know what I'm getting out of this card. I'm going to pull some clarifiers on this card because I always have a difficult time articulating it the way that I feel. But I think that you are really trying to do something that is very deep to your heart, or like really have that yearning for abundance. And I just see there's lots of money and crystals, and they're like, you know, I don't know if this is exertion and like, or like kind of stale energy within this, and something needs to shift emotionally through this. Like there's something, either you're needing a shift to like connect with your emotions more within this work, or, and I think these go together with boundary setting too. That's kind of, I never have an easy time articulating this card, because it could mean a million things here. But it came out with boundaries. And the moon, again, this is the 3rd time you got the moon. I'll show you this little card. The moon is all about unseen things and paths and the unknown. Mystery, path, like, I just feel like there's a lot that needs to come up. That's what this kind of dead energy that I'm getting here with this spirit. It's like, I think it's because there's some stagnation or something that's inside that needs to come out. And it's kind of been there for so long that the energy is just stagnant and stale for me. That's what I'm kind of getting here. And maybe emotions that have just been dormant for so long, and then you need maybe to like tap into them so you can release some of the wounds that come with that, and some of the energy that has been trapped in your body, maybe, you know, so it doesn't create disease, you know? I don't know why I'm getting that, but that's kind of, there's got to be a renewal of some sort here, a rebirth, you know, of connection with your emotions. That's what I'm feeling here. And some things are going to come up that you are not aware of, or that you haven't really seen in that perspective. And that's why the moon card's coming in, because it shows you the truth when you're ready to see it, or when it's ready to come. So, and boundaries, it's all about, you know, really finding balance with your boundaries. And that's another card about like utilizing your energy in the way that serves you most, that you keep like grounded and rested and safe, and finding a balance of yin and yang. This is a perfect example of what I said before. I definitely feel that there's got to be a balance here, and setting boundaries on people and on yourself, and like really trying to dig deep to see what, you know, and everybody's individual. Like boundaries for every single person's different, because people are different and their needs are different. So maybe inviting, like, these cards are inviting you to like look at all of your relationships, and it's exhausting to do, but in the end it saves you energy and gives you vitality of like, you know, are your relationships balanced? Are your boundaries set with them? Are they taking as much as they're giving? Are you taking as much as you're giving? Like a nice balance between the two. It doesn't have to be like tit for tat, but, you know, like not having like energy vampires to the point where you have nothing left to give to the people who are actually giving you stuff back, and that are actually having that balance with you. So that's kind of what I'm saying. And really finding peace with that. I feel like, you know, maybe for some of you, you are finding peace with your emotions and you've done some work, you know, and you're finding a balance with that. Or this is the goal, like you want to have peace internally and the thoughts that come up and the emotions that come up. But I think that this is the goal. The goal of you right now for you in the month of April is to look at your emotions, making sure that they're balanced and that you have boundaries set up with people and finding inner peace. And then for the Eight of Shells, which are the Eight of Cups, you're definitely, this is a time of renewal for you. You know, you're on a quest. This is time for renewals. And this is about like overcoming obstacles and blockages that you have with your emotional state. And really, you know, maybe now you have overcome those and now you're starting new with a new way of surviving, a new way of living, a new way of seeing things, not taking things so personal, releasing things that don't serve you anymore, cutting, cord cutting with people that are not in your life anymore that have really kept their energy attached to you. It's time to release some of those things and become lighter so you can move through this and do some of this inner work, because you need the energy right now. The whole thing about this reading is about preserving your energy for what you need it for and really finding a nice balance of that. So, and then in your, how you can move through this to the final outcome, you have instinct, you have the Three of Wands, the Beauty card, and the Eight of Swords in reverse, which is good. So going through your instinct right here, I think this is using your, you know, in order to shift through this, it's like really connecting to your intuition more. That's also with the Page of Shells or Cups. This is all about inspiration and intuition. So, you know, a lot of you just making sure you stay connected to your intuition and really hear what your needs are internally and not from external forces. Really connecting with yourself and staying grounded in all of this. Because I think that's going to carry you through to the outcome and really help you stay stable and grounded and feel safe and feeling secure and staying in your will, you know, staying in your willpower. So going with your gut and be discerning with things coming in and making sure that you really focus on and pay attention to the things that your body's telling you, your spirit's telling you. So you're also at the Three of Wands, and this is all about foresight and like exploration, you know. I think you are exploring. You're coming out of the weeds now and you're looking up, you know, and you're seeing like all of the possibility and all of the adventure ahead. And I feel like you're finally like coming out of the dark, you know, into this light. I just feel like this giraffe kind of like peeked her head out or his head out or their head out and just were like, you know, oh wow, look at this, it's just so inspiring and all this opportunity that they have now that they've like done the work, they've gotten out of hangman mode, they've gotten the magicians like manifesting stuff now, and you're starting to see things clearly now, and you're seeing things for what they are, and you're seeing things in a different lens, you know, finding more gratitude in your life, being more grateful for things like the simple things like flowers and people's gestures and little things, you know, like really seeing the beauty for what they are, for what it is, and keeping a positive mind, you know, staying clear-headed. And I think that's what this, we'll get into the Eight of Wands or Swords, but I just think that like, for those of you who need a push, keep a clear mind, keep positive affirmations. Try not to let negativity conquer the mind, because I think you're really onto this new way of looking at things, and I think it's important to have that inspiration and to see things in a different way so you can move through this on a higher vibrational plane. And that's the key here, is to move up a step in your vibrational plane. So yeah, and so the Eight of Swords, or the Eight of, they're feathers, so they're swords. And the Eight of Swords in reverse, you know, to me this is about courage and just having the courage and the will, and from the willpower, sorry, it took me a minute because I was trying to think, having willpower and keeping it, you know. And because this is in the reversal, maybe just to look at what your obstacles are that are holding you back. Like, what are the blockages here? You know, why are you not what is holding you back from being courageous and moving through things? You know, maybe this is a balance here of like going with your instinct, stay intuitive, using your intuition and like, you know, foresight, and just like having this exploration, this sense of clarity and excitement, adventure, and seeing the things that are beautiful and the things that you're grateful for, but making sure, maybe this is inviting you to make sure that you keep the courage, that you keep a positive outlook in the long run, and just take a chance. You know, maybe not having some fear. Maybe there's some fear here of doing something different, and fear of the unknown is very real. I mean, a lot of people feel that way. So, just really focusing on staying in your power and feeling safe, and keep the hope, you know, stay in your willpower. Like, I just feel saying willpower, staying tolerant to all things around you. And that's key, because that is all about like overcoming or shining through challenges and staying grounded. Definitely feel that here. So I'm going to pull some of these, and then some clarity cards, and some self-care cards. Situation, please, for April's 2021. Overall, I think this is a lot of healing and a lot of growth. It's just a matter of manifestation. I definitely think, the Magician was definitely the highlight of the whole reading. And the Hanged Man. You are safe. Again, I've literally said this a few times in your reading about feeling safe. You're divinely guided. New beginnings. Renewal. It's right underneath each other. And one more for the final outcome, please. April 2021. Thank you. Okay. Love came out earlier too. It's allowed it to pour in and out of you. So a lot of self-love, a lot of just really seeing the nicer things around, the beauty around everything, and that will bring you more love. You'll start to appreciate things and see the brighter side of things. And stillness. Also, I feel like meditation, grounding yourself, doing some Reiki, using crystals, being out in nature, going for walks in nature, going into the woods, going to the ocean. To balance out this energy, I think is really important. And gratitude. Being grateful for what you have and what you are, and appreciate present blessings. Like, being in the present moment will keep you feeling grateful. Not thinking ahead, not looking at the past, but being right where you are in this energy. And being in your intuition is being present, because you're really focused on what your body's feeling at the time. And so it does keep you focused and present. So manifestation, what you desire is on the way. I think this is the current situation. I do think most of you are manifesting stuff right now. And like, you've put it out there in the universe, and now some of you are already in that change, and some are about to have that change. So stay focused and stay patient. It's definitely on the way. And then I'm going to pull a couple cards too, like one clarify the whole. Spiritual guidance and inspiration. The same words keep coming out for me. And wish card. It is all about, like, you know, you're just keep putting out the things that you want back, and you'll get it. And you have this inspiration. The inspiration card looks like this. I don't know if you can see it that far. These are tiny. And spiritual guidance, whether you need some spiritual guidance to keep you focused and grounded, or maybe that's what will keep you grounded, is to find that. Or connect with spirit more, do some like guided meditations. Or if you just connecting with yourself, it's connecting with spirit. So I don't know how that looks like for you, but I think that having inspiration and keeping things new and fresh and exciting will connect you with spirit anyway. And just know you are guided. I mean, it says the universe has your back. You are safe. but this is also in your communication and intellect. So really speaking your truth for some of you that need to speak your truth. What also is coming here for me is like using force to speak your truth, because I think maybe for some of you, you might need that force to actually get it out. But then but then hone it in and like, don't be so forceful and don't be so, because sometimes when things are trapped for so long, especially in the voice, like you just want to shout it out or like scream, or anger kind of takes over, or aggressive, or looks aggressive to other people because it's been trapped and you just want to explode. And that's kind of what I see this dog doing, is like barking so loud. But I think for me, I know for sometimes like when I need to do that, I need it to be that dramatic for me to shift or change something. And that's what's coming to me for here. Some of you might need that, but just realize the aftermath of that and how it affects people. So if you are going to be needing to do this, or you have done it already, maybe having your tribe be aware of that so they're not taking it offensively or taking it personally. But just be aware, like get it out any way you need to get it out, but then bring it back and have some control, and just respect the people around you. I don't know why this is coming up, but for someone, it's for someone. I just see him barking really aggressively and just like, I don't know, it's just like over the top. And I just see that, just realizing, keep knowing that you're safe, and that I feel like almost like a defensive-ness needing to come out, but it doesn't have to come out because you're safe and people are caring and loving for you. So towards you. So just knowing that. I'm going to pull a clarity card for that. Thank you. Or two. Strength and wildness, which is instinct. It's the same card. Except for this is a dog, another dog howling to the moon. This is about getting your voice out and going with your gut, going with your intuition, and speaking your truth, because this is in the communication position, and knowing that you're so strong. This is a strength card. You are so strong. This is willpower. This is inner strength. Willpower, again, coming up. So you do have the willpower to move through this and shift something big. And if it has to come out dramatic, that's okay. But just make sure you know the aftermath of that for affecting other people. That's all I got to say. In the emotion position, the new beginnings came out, and have courage to open a new door. That's funny because we are all talking about renewal and like new beginnings, and the moving forward and change, and the page is taking a new path. For most of you, you're definitely on a new path. And this is about how to deal with your emotions. You're looking at new ways to work on releasing things that don't serve you anymore, or how to perceive them, not taking things so personal when somebody talks, realizing that it's their journey and their way of being dramatic when they need to speak out, just like this dog speaking out. Just realize like everyone is in the same situation, but affected different ways and projecting it different ways. So if you can understand that you can blow up sometimes and people will take it the wrong way, maybe you'll know that like when you do it, sometimes it needs to be, or when people do it to you, you'll understand that it's not personal and you won't take it so deep. I don't know why that's coming up, but there's got to be a message in it for someone because it keeps coming up in this. But you are on a new path and a new beginning and a new way of really connecting with your emotions and working through things, and to be later on the other end. One more card, please, for that. New beginnings. Thank you. The world. So this is all about connection. I just find like inner peace and connectiveness into the world, like with the world, and like knowing that you are not alone in the situation, and that people have your back, and we're all in this. I just literally said we're all in this together. It's just people have their own way of communicating it or releasing it, and just know that we're all in the same boat, going through the same thing globally right now. And in the final outcome, or how we move through it, is listen, silence your mind, and pay attention. So I definitely think that this is moving with your intuition, silencing the mind, being still and going inward. Pay attention to your intuition. Instinct is here, foresight, the courage to look within, intuition and inspiration, endurance and determination, the manifestation. It's like, you know, this is about connecting with your intuition and really paying attention to what your body's telling you, because the answers are there. You don't want to miss something big listening to everything outside. So going inward is really important, and meditating, and or just taking a walk in nature and just not putting your phone away and not talking. And it's like walking meditation. That's just as great for some that don't know how to meditate. It's really hard. That's why I do Reiki, because I think that really helps me quiet the mind, because meditations can be very difficult. So let me just do one more cord. Okay, thank you. Breathe. And unfamiliar territory on the bottom of the deck, and inspiration again. So unfamiliar territory is exactly where you're going, you know, and that could be some of the discomfort and the courage to move forward for you, because you're not familiar about what's to come. It's unknown. The moon came up 3 times, you know. There's a lot coming out or being shown to you. This could be two ways of thinking, okay? The fish jumps out of the stream, looks ahead and said, oh my God, there's such a long journey ahead of me, and I'm so scared because I don't know what's to come, and it's just scary because I don't know what it is. I don't know what that place is. Or you can look at it as the fish jumping out of water and be like so excited, like, look at this journey ahead of me. Like, look what I have to look forward to. I can't wait to start this journey. It's gorgeous over there near the mountains, you know? So it's all about perspective. It's all about, you know, looking at the outcome, not waiting for the goal to happen or the outcome, but like at least looking at it to keep a clear mind and know where you're going so you feel safe, but really enjoying the journey for what it is. I just think it's really important, and I think that's definitely something that needs to be heard here. So I'm going to pull some self-care cards. I always do that at the end of the readings, and send you on your way. I already shuffled these, but I just felt like I needed to do it again. Or all 3. Take a walk. Meditation. That's exactly what I said. So definitely standing still, grounding, connecting with the earth, keeping your energy grounded here. Watch a movie. Family came out when I was shuffling. Spending time with family or loved ones is really important right now. Look at the stars and connect with your womb. To me, that's just about going within and connecting with your body, like your root chakra, just in general, just like going within and really listening to your body. Looking at the stars. This is also about manifestation, you know, like asking the universe for help or putting out what you want to receive back. To me, that's just about connecting. And also looking up. Most of us look at our phones all day. Looking up to know that there's endless possibility and such an amazing universe out there that we seem to be in this, like, you know, to me, this card is also about that, you know, because it's like we have the world that we live in, and then there's expansion out there. There's more to the picture than meets the eye. That's kind of what I'm getting from here too. So like really connecting and just realizing we're not all here. Like this is not all there is. And maybe it keeps us a little humble and a little bit more hopeful. Because right now time can be really heavy and dark, and it just keeps you motivated. And watching an inspirational movie maybe, you know, something that really inspires you, that gets you moving, that gets your soul, or connecting to something that makes you emotional in a good way, to really connect with emotions if you're the person that needs that. So Libra, I hope you enjoyed your April reading. If this resonated with you and you like the way that I read, I would really appreciate likes and subscribe. It keeps the channel going and growing, and I would really like to stay relevant here. It's a lot of fun, and I love doing this work. So again, have a great month of April, Libra, and I will see you next month.